These are the news of News Radio. Joanna Michalska, welcome. Today my guest is Hadit Galindo Pianeta from Doctoral School. Hi, hello, how are you today?
Hi, I am fine. A little bit surprised with the weather because it's like rain, snow, but everything is good today.
Wonderful. You are from Colombia and I'm very curious about your journey. How did you get to Poland from Colombia? Because this is really impressive and really interesting.
Yes, I got to know here that I was the first person from the continent American and the first person from South America in the doctoral school. I got to know that the university was doing this opportunity of bringing people who wanted to study in the doctoral school, of course, with some requirements. So I got to know that. I started the process. I started to organize all the documents, and they accepted me.
I wonder, why did you choose our city? What contributed to do this?
It was in the beginning. It was because there are a lot of opportunities here in Europe, but I found that this was a good city, and then I got to know about a neuroscience lab here. So when I saw all the infrastructure of the university, I knew that it was going to be a good opportunity for me.
Before we move on to your life in Szczecin, please tell us, what did you did in Colombia? What did you do there? What did you study in Colombia?
Yes, okay. I am psychologist and I am a clinical psychologist. So over there, I have had a lot of work experience because I started first of all in organizational psychology. Then I moved to educational psychology. Then I was between educational, clinical, and also research. So I explore all these fields, even social psychology, because I used to travel a lot to work with communities. But in the end of this journey, the last 8 years, I have been more focused in clinical psychology, because I am a psychotherapist, working in the school because I am also a school counselor, and also in research. So these have been my 3 fields over there.
Have you had the opportunity to live somewhere else before Poland to find out what it's like?
Yes, I have traveled into different cities. In South America, Brazil, Argentina, Uruguay, and in USA.
Oh, that's a lot. It's
Yes.
impressive. And how do you like it?
You know, despite all these countries are in South America, they are very different. For example, in the country that I lived more was in Argentina. And over there, they have a lot of tradition very close to Italy, but also they like a lot of barbecue. So it's a mixture of cultures. But Brazil is more towards Colombia. It's closer to Colombia. It's like people is very happy, very open, extroverted. They like to socialize. Of course, not all the people is like that, but the culture is in that way. In Uruguay, it's very close to Argentina, despite they are a small country, the traditions are quite similar. So I have been in this place. I have been also living in USA. The life in USA is completely different also. It's like every family, every person, it has their own space. And they are kind of isolated, I would say. It's not like in South America, not even like here. I think here in Szczecin and in Poland, it's like, but there is a balance, okay? And for example, over there, if you don't have a car, you cannot go almost to any place.
Exactly.
Maybe in some of the main cities where public transport exists, but to be honest, I have been in several cities over there, and the public transport is not the famous thing.
What was the biggest challenge for you before moving to Szczecin? How do you remember that time?
It was very difficult because I knew at that time that I had to abandon everything. And everything means my family, my work, and some stability that I had found in the things that I was doing. So it was very challenging. And then moving here without any support, And when I say any support, I mean physical support, because my family was always supporting me in the distance. But in the end, because of the time schedule, the difference of time, right now is 6 hours, but in other time of the year it's 7 hours. So even when I knew that they are for me, they are helping me, supporting me, it was difficult because at some time of the day, maybe I wanted to share something, I wanted to ask for a question, or maybe I wanted to have a normal talk, but it was not possible. So it put me in the position of facing the loneliness by myself. It was not the first time, but it was the first time that I felt it in the strongest way. So I think that it was the most challenging, and also despite I had lived alone, living here in a dorm is a different story. So it's like a completely change of mind. It's like I had to get a new perspective of the society, of how people live and how I have to adapt. It took me some time, but I am here, so I'm happy for that.
Do you have any time to regret your decision to move here from Colombia?
Not at all. I have never regret that.
So you're happy here?
Yes, even when I had very hard time, I have to say that I found supportive people here in Poland. And some of my classmates and some friends were very supportive, and it gives hope. You know, it's like, you know that everything in the end is going to be well, and that you have the resources. Sometimes you think that you don't have the things that you need, but the people who is supporting you reminds you that you have that, so you can move on.
So after your life in USA, Brazil, Colombia, and different countries, what were your first thoughts and impressions when you arrived here? It is a completely different world for you.
Yeah, it was. First of all, starting with the culture. For me, it was a surprise that this was a Catholic country, okay? Because Colombia gives a lot of importance to religion, and we have a lot of holidays due to the Catholic religion, but we don't take it that serious like here. So that was one of the things that surprised me more. Also, that people over here maybe are not used to foreigners. So I realized that when they realized that someone was a foreigner, they were kind of surprised, or they were like trying to identify what was going on. And I also found that here people don't get these gatherings frequently. It's very special for people in Poland, the holidays, especially winter break, Christmas, New Year's Eve. And another difference that I found is that, for example, now for the final of the year, it's like you can move to different places to celebrate. But in Colombia, people stays in their own family. It's very weird that you move to a party, that you move to another house. It's like they are very different in that way. So this was one of the things that surprised me more, but there were other things. For example, the transport. I love the transport here because it's very easy and you can track it.
Yeah, it's really comfortable.
Yeah, it's really comfortable, and according to my experience, it's not that expensive, okay? It's very affordable, and you can move to different places here. Also, the river, I like this perspective of the city that is towards the river, and like there are different malls in different cities. Also, something that is completely different from Colombia overall and different cities is that this city is organized towards the center, like other cities in Europe, but in Colombia, many cities are not like that. So I think these are the things that surprised me more when I came here.
And weather, the surprising weather.
Oh my God. Okay, I have to say yes, because I was expecting some cold weather. I had been in winter. But when I realized that we can reach -10, -12, -15, I was like, oh my God, I am going to go out today. It was like, I don't know what to do. But sometimes it was like, okay, I need to eat. I need to do something.
Yeah.
I need to buy things, either go to a restaurant or just ask for delivery. I need to do something. So the weather, it's for me, is a little bit extreme. A little bit, not too much, because I know that it can be more extreme, but it's extreme only in some seasons of the year. It's just during winter, it's just some weeks on the winter. And during summer, oh my God, it's very hot, even hotter than in the city where I live in Colombia. And I thought that, okay, this is the summer, this is too much.
And suddenly,
oh my God, I felt that the sun was burning me and that I was going to, I don't know, faint. because the heat was a lot for me. I'm not used to these extreme temperatures.
I'm from Poland and I have the same problem, so don't worry. You are in doctoral school. How did you find out about Szczecin? Have you looked for places what will inspire you, or did someone tell you about our doctoral school in Szczecin?
Yes, I got to know a colleague, and this person shared the information with me. And after that, I started to search about the university and then about the city. I found that it was a medium city, it was close to Germany, so I thought like, okay, it can be a good opportunity for me.
So what are you doing at the doctoral school? What do you do here? What is the topic of your research?
Okay, right now I am starting my second year, and my topic of research is a little bit long because it has many variables, but basically is I want to know what are the predictors of burnout and quality of life in teachers in Colombia. So for this topic, I pick up the anxiety trait and the optimism trait. I want to see if these traits, these personal traits, individual traits, are predictors of these outcomes. And to analyze that, I am going to take into account the meaning of life of people and also their coping style. So this is my objective in the research, and I think it's very important because right now around the World Health Organization is still looking for risk factors, protective factors, predictors, and a lot of research regarding burnout. As you know, I have been a school counselor for almost 8 years, so I have a close relationship with this population of teachers and with managers in the school, and I have seen in my own experience how they get burnout. So for me it's very interesting, also because my mom is a manager, but she has her education, she is a teacher. So I want to understand that. It has a lot of implications in education, in society, but overall it can be also helpful for people if they want to understand. It doesn't matter if I am not a teacher, okay? But what happens if my anxiety trait is making me prone to burnout? So how can I manage that? Or what happens if my optimism trait is making me prone to have quality of life, right?
Exactly.
Or what happens if my coping style is directing me or helping in the situation to have quality of life or to have burnout. So there are many questions in the research that I am looking to answer, but basically this is what I'm working on.
I think it's really interesting but important topic for a lot of people because you know that meaning is the most important with your research.
Yes. exactly.
Where do you see yourself in a few years? What job do you want to do? And above all, where would you like to be?
This is a very good question because I have been finding through all my life that there are many things that I want to do, and there are also things that I don't want to stop doing. And one of the things that I don't want to stop doing is psychotherapy. I learn a lot with my clients. I learn a lot with them, and this keeps me in the position of learning all of the time. And for me, this is very important. It's a personal interest. Psychotherapy is one thing that I don't want to stop doing, but now that I have been more into research and this part of teaching, I have been thinking also how I can mix this. But for me, freedom is important. So if I am going to stay in one place, Colombia, Poland, or any other country, for example, USA, I don't want to feel that I am like trapped. Like if I want to move to another place, I cannot. But this is more related to other purposes of life because I want also financial freedom. Okay, so if I get that, I know that everything that I am going to do is because I want to. It's not because I am forced.
Yeah.
It's not because the situation is making me to do this, so I can get the other thing. Of course, sometimes in my life, I have been in that situation and I am okay because I know that is something circumstantial. But at this point of my life, I would like to go more for my freedom.
So where is your freedom?
Where is my freedom? Okay, I can answer that in two ways.
Because this is really interesting. You are far away from your home here in Poland, and after your education in doctoral school, you think you want to come back to Colombia or stay here or stay in Europe?
You know what is my dream? My dream is to be able to go to Colombia when I want and to be working outside when I want. This is my dream. In fact, I have been thinking, because in Colombia I work with Ministry of Education, I have been thinking, what can I do to go to Colombia and give them something very important, that I can maintain my position over there, but at the same time, I have the freedom to go abroad. It doesn't matter which country I will go, but to be outside, get more learning, get more experiences, and share them. So this is my my dream, because as I said, I don't want to be attached just to one place. If I make that decision, it's because I'm 100% sure that I am going to get everything that I want in that place. But still, since my personality is kind of extroverted and I like to travel, so I would like to have at least some days or some weeks to do that.
I cross my fingers for you and for your experience and for your dreams, because I think it's the most important thing in our life. And I think we should accept ourselves and our decisions, because our feelings are the most important for us.
When you say that, you made me remember the previous question you made regarding freedom. And I think freedom is represented in two things. The first thing is the freedom of being, the freedom of thinking whatever I want to think, the freedom of feeling in the way that I want to feel.
Exactly. Yeah,
because
I agree.
Sometimes we close and we deny to ourselves our own thoughts, our own feelings, even behaviors. But the other freedom is, the freedom to do whatever I want to do. So I can see the freedom in this whole aspect. It's not just one thing. And I think that when these aspects are current, when what I think, what I feel, and what I do, they go in the same line, you are going to be happy, even if you are not exactly in the place where you want to be.
Exactly.
Because you are working for that. So I think that this is the freedom at least from my point of view.
Hadit, thank you so much for conversations with you. It was really inspiring for me. You are here in Poland and you look beautiful. You are really happy here. So I'm really glad to have conversation with you. Thank you so much for your time and I wish you all the best. I cross my fingers for you and for your future.
Thank you very much, Joanna. This is a very beautiful opportunity for me. Thank you for the confidence, for your trust, for this space, and for inviting me to be here.
Thank you so much.